Oh, we're in Acts 26 here. And what's going on in Acts 26 is Paul is giving an account to a judge because he is on trial for spreading the way, right? And so then in Acts 26:15, he's recounting his experience going into Damascus, and he says, "So I said, 'Who are you, Lord?' After Paul sees this bright light, right, which cripples him, basically. And he said, 'I am Jesus whom you are persecuting, but rise and stand on your feet, for I have appeared to you for this purpose, to make you a minister and a witness, both of the things which you have seen and of the things which I will yet reveal to you.'" A little bit further up here, which is actually the part I wanted to first mention, right before that. He said, "I heard a voice speaking to me and saying in the Hebrew language, 'Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me? It is hard for you to kick against the goads,'" and hard to kick as it were, right? So whenever Paul was first persecuting people of the way, there were some people who were Greek who were of the way, meaning they were saved, right? They recognized Jesus as their Lord, and they recognized his death, resurrection, him as the Son of God, the way, the truth, and the light. But there was a few thousand Christians there at the time, because if you're looking in early Acts, you have about 5,000 to 10,000 people who may have been saved, at a certain period before Paul took the gospel to Rome and a number of other places. And interesting thinking about that, kicking against the goads and how hard that is. The goads is the leading of the Lord, his prodding, right? His push, his pull. Either way, his directing of motion or change within us in our lives. But whenever Paul was persecuting people, Christianity was a very small sect, reasonably speaking. But this man who was persecuting Christians ended up having a large hand through the hand of the Lord, but having a large hand in the spread of Christianity, and ultimately Rome becoming Christian, going from being a place where Christians are persecuted to maybe getting too violent for the Lord, right? But they were committed to the Lord nonetheless, even if they were making a lot of mistakes or doing things which the Lord wouldn't have wanted them to do, as we all do, being human, but yet led by the Lord. But I suppose in thinking about this, it also makes me think about an earlier portion of Acts where Peter is taken in for spreading the way, and he's taken in by some Sadducees, and they're saying, "Hey, we told you not to do this," and he's like, "Well, I can't not do what God has commanded me to do." And then one of them, in a private session after Peter's gone, is saying, "Well, if this is of the Lord," he one of the Sadducees, high up guys, he goes through a list of people who had come who said they were the Messiah predicted by, the Torah and many parts in the Old Testament, to include some Psalms and some other places. But the Messiah, others had claimed to be this Messiah. Upon their passing, shortly after, they had no followers, right? They were dead. Whereas if Jesus was of God, he said, "There's nothing we can do to stop this movement. If he's not, this will just die and fade on its own." So clearly, by the testament of that Sadducee, who was not a Christian, Christianity is true. That's it, man.